Good evening and welcome to VTV News. I'm Quintin Hall.
And I'm Swathi Ganesh.
There is nothing more shocking than a death on campus. Students and faculty are in mourning after the news of the death of a student on campus. Tyler Scholl was found dead this afternoon in his campus residence. Though the cause of death is still being determined, investigators say no foul play is suspected. His family has been notified. Tyler was a senior in the College of Arts and Science and majors in mathematics and economics. He also served 2 years as a resident advisor. He only had a little over a month left until his graduation. If you need any assistance, please call the Psychological and Counseling Center at 615-322-2571.
Vanderbilt students are known for their high aspirations, but one student is going above and beyond to make a difference in his community. Robert Shutt is running for the Tennessee District 95's open seat in the State House of Representatives. Head field reporter Claire Barnett sat down with him to discuss his candidacy and his platform.
So I actually became interested in this when I was in high school, so several years ago. I had seen that my representative at the time had gotten a DUI and spent 48 hours in jail, and then continued to run unopposed for 2 more terms. And so I started looking into how many people run unopposed in the Tennessee House, and the numbers are staggering. Fundamentally, I thought that was not what democracy is all about, and so that piqued my interest. And then with Mark Lovell's resignation in February, I couldn't stay out. So I was born and raised in Shelby County. Been there for a long time and know a lot of people in the district, and that's kind of what's made me who I am today. I think I really want to push for to continue to protect our natural resources, particularly in West Tennessee, and workforce development is something that I'm really interested in. So the field is really crowded. I'm one of 10 candidates, with 7 of them being Republican. I think that since the field's so crowded and you're going to have a low voter turnout as a special election, I think my odds are pretty good, for especially for an independent. I think I can, as long as I get people to the polls, I think we can pull it out.
Voting for the primary election begins April 7th and lasts through April 22nd.
The College of Arts and Science has a new divisional Dean of Humanities. The college announced Bonnie J. Dow will assume the position on July 1st. Dow is a professor and chair of the Department of Communication Studies. She is part of a new administrative structure featuring divisional deans and was announced last year as part of Dean Benton's vision for a college. Dow will lead a division composed of 19 departments and programs in humanities. She will also lead 2 interdisciplinary centers, Robert Penn Warren Center for the Humanities and the Center for Digital Humanities.
A former Vanderbilt student has been speaking his mind. Brandon Banks, one of the suspects in the Vanderbilt rape case, has been given several speeches at several universities. Some are concerned that his speeches have re-victimized the victim in his ongoing rape case. In said speeches, he talks about the consequences of making bad decisions as a student athlete. The speeches are unpaid and do not speak about specifics of his case. So far, he has given speeches at the University of Alabama and the University of Georgia. Banks and co-defendant Tip McKenzie were charged with raping an unconscious woman in a Vanderbilt dormitory 4 years ago. Vandenberg and Beatty were found guilty and are serving 15-year sentences. According to Banks' attorney, they hope to reach some type of agreement in order to avoid trial in June.
Vanderbilt will be able to support more futures engineers starting this fall. The Clark Charitable Foundation gave Vanderbilt a generous gift of $15 million. These funds will create the Clark Scholars Program at the School of Engineering. The program will allow talented undergraduates to become pioneers in the engineering field. The hope is for students to reflect the same passion as the late A. James Clark. Scholarships will be given out to 10 first-year students beginning this fall. The program is part of the Opportunity Vanderbilt initiative, which gives scholarships to exceptional students with financial need. It's the first of its kind for engineering leaders.
Vanderbilt endowment may be going up, but its voter turnout is going down. This election season, VSG presidential voter turnout was the lowest it's been in 5 years. The 45% turnout is down 9% from last year. In addition, numbers were lower in the primaries. Students speculate this is due to the nature of this year's election. VSG election commissioner attributes the relatively low participation to the comparatively light campaigning done by one of the 2 campaigns. While VSG does not take actions to inform the student body about the election, it is mostly upon the candidates to publicize the election. It will be up to next year's candidates to stop Vanderbilt's voter turnout from decreasing even further.
There's an art show, and then there's an anti-art show. The Vanderbilt Fine Arts Gallery is presenting The Dada Effect, an anti-aesthetic and its influence exhibition. Dadaism is an anti-nationalist, anti-war, and anti-bourgeoisie artist and literary movement. The exhibit includes work from artists such as Salvador Dali and Max Ernst. Elements of the exhibit include over 50 rare books and journals, a dense array of paintings, sculptures, and videos, replicas of surrealist dresses, and a cabaret Voltaire stage set. The exhibition will be at the Fine Arts Gallery until May 27th.
Vanderbilt students have often been involved in giving a voice to more diverse views on gender and sexuality, but some students are taking the conversation onto the stage. On April 13th, VU Theater will present an original variety show inspired by early 20th century European cabaret culture as part of this diversity initiative. The show is directed by Kristen Essen, an assistant professor of theater at Vanderbilt. The show consists entirely of women, gay men, or non-binary students, and includes singing, dancing, parodies of Broadway musical numbers, and other comic skits. Essen says that Cabaret Vanderbilt is about giving voice to or amplifying the voices of people who identify as feminist or queer on this campus, and using a cabaret format to do so. The cabaret, named Gender Play, will be performed in Neely Auditorium from 8 to 9:30 p.m. each evening from April 13th to the 15th. Tickets are $10 general admission, $7 for Vanderbilt graduate students, and free for undergrads. Now for this week's sports news, here's VTV News sports correspondent Claire Barnett.
Hey, I'm Claire Barnett with your Commodore Sports Update. Let's start with a look at the past week in baseball. On Sunday, Vanderbilt pulled off a win in their series finale at number 19, Kentucky. The two teams were tied at the beginning of the 7th inning, but ultimately, Vandy walked away with a 6-4 victory. Then on Tuesday, the Commodores defeated the visiting Tennessee Martin Skyhawks 11-0. This marked Vanderbilt's 5th straight win in non-conference play and brought them to a 9-1 record for their last 10 games. The women's track and field team was on the road today as they traveled to Knoxville for the Tennessee Relays. They're coming off a successful competition last weekend at the Florida Relays. During this event, the distance medley relay team presented record-breaking performance. And in lacrosse, the team dominated yesterday afternoon with a 16-8 win against the University of Connecticut. With this win, the ladies improved their record to 3-1 in league play. This follows a loss to number 3 ranked Florida on Saturday. The Vanderbilt men's golf team concluded the Mason Rudolph Championship on Sunday in 3rd place, behind team champion Florida and runner-up Alabama. Junior Theo Humphrey was the Commodore's best finisher, ending the event with an 8-under par, which left him tied for 3rd on the individual leaderboard. And finally, in women's tennis, the number 5 ranked Vandy team earned its 6th top 25 victory Sunday afternoon. They defeated the number 18 Arkansas Razorbacks 5-2. With this victory, the team improves to 13-5 in overall record with an 8-1 record in SEC play. And that's all the sports news we have for you this week. Tune back in next Thursday for more updates. For VTV News, I'm Claire Barnett.
Thanks, Claire. Now for this week's weather, here's VTV News weather correspondent John Horzen.
Hello Vanderbilt, my name is John Horzen here with your 7-day forecast. Weather or not, this week's ready for us? Here we come. Friday is going to be sunny but chilly with a high of 61 and a low of 36. Saturday is going to be absolutely beautiful, nice and sunny with highs in the low 70s. Sunday is going to show us the first clouds of the week, though it will be far from overcast, high of 79, low of 56. Monday is going to be a little bit more cloudy, high of 79, low of 59. Tuesday is going to start with thunderstorms, but should mellow out by mid-afternoon, high of 75, low of 51. Wednesday is going to be sunny again, highs in the mid to upper 70s, and to round out our news week, Thursday is going to be partly cloudy, high of 78, low of 55. For VTV News, I'm John Horzen.
That's all for tonight's broadcast. Thanks for watching VTV News. I'm Swathi Ganesh.
And I'm Quintin Hall. Tune in next week for more top stories.